All right, so for those of you guys who know my story, the first video I ever posted on this channel, where I was basically just giving you guys a background of who I am and where my channel name came from. A lot of you guys already know my story. If you don't know my story and you're new to the channel, my name is Javon. Me and you probably had a similar upbringing when it came to our trading journey. We might have both started from a MLM. If you know what an MLM is, then you know. What I'm basically trying to say is we probably have a similar upbringing in this space of trading. In 2021, I got introduced to trading. I used to trade something called HFX on pocket options. If you know pocket options, you know. So I was trading HFX, and then I ended up losing all my money one day, or just after a series of months, and I went broke and I needed a job to, sustain myself again. And I ended up getting a job, and I ended up staying at that job for approximately 3 years. So I gave that job 3 years of my time, and within being at this job, because I said I was never really trading forex, I was low-key intimidated of trading forex because I didn't really understand it. And within the MLM group that I was in, I didn't really have like a foundational understanding of how to trade the actual forex market. I was only accustomed to trading HFX, binary options. So once I was at the job, I basically kind of forgot. It's like God just took trading out of my heart at the time. And at the time, I was trying to become a YouTuber. I was trying to pursue YouTube. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just work my job and pursue YouTube, right? I have a main channel, other than this channel. I don't really post on there as much, but the point I'm trying to make is I was trying to be a YouTuber. I said, you know what? Forget trading. Trading is not going to work. And I just forgot about trading altogether up until 2024. So I was in Canada in January of 2024 with my girlfriend, and I was watching this YouTuber, and he was talking about finances and changing your life. I think the video in the moment really touched my spirit, because in that moment I instantly thought of day trading again. I was like, the only skill that I ever came across in the past few years was day trading. And the thought of day trading literally came back into my spirit. And I took that as a sign that I need to learn how to trade. And since 2024 up until this point, June 6th, I believe it's June 6th, 2026, I've been trading ever since. And I've lost a lot of accounts. I've just blown a lot of money. And the point I'm trying to get into now is last year, or almost a year ago, July 15th, 2025, is when I quit that job that I was just telling you guys about, that I was at for 3 years. So I quit that job, and honestly, my strategy at the time, I still kind of trade the same strategy. I just refined it. But I quit my job with my whole life savings, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna figure this trading thing out. I'm gonna just learn how to trade, and I'm gonna figure it out by any means possible. And the point of quitting my job was so that I can get back my freedom. I had such belief that quitting my job was the right decision, and it would have allowed me to get to profitability. And I really believe this. And on this journey of quitting my job, I actually had more time, more freedom to actually, learn deeper about trading and like the fundamentals of what I wasn't grasping when I was working a job, because I didn't have the time. So I can say that was a success. Me quitting my job to get more time to pursue or put into trading was actually a success, because I ended up finding trades by Sai. He helped me refine my strategy. I ended up passing prop firm accounts. I ended up getting a payout months later, right? And although the prop firm game is, it was rocky and challenging. You guys see my journey on my channel. Although it was rocky and challenging, I still managed to surpass certain goals that I had last year or earlier in my trading journey, right? Before I quit my job to go full-time trading, I was blowing funded accounts. I was blowing live accounts back to back to back. So it wasn't a coincidence that I quit my job, had more time to study and learn the charts, ended up passing up my first prop firm. Then I failed it. Then a few months later, I passed another prop firm. Then I got a payout, right? And it brings us to present day now. So from July 15th, 2025 to June 6th, 2026, it's actually probably been about approximately 300 plus days, almost a year. Next month would have made a whole year since I've been unemployed and I became a full-time day trader. And it's looking like I'm gonna have to go back to a job. And that's really the point of today's video, and I'm about to jump into it right now. But it's looking like I'm about to have to go back to a job and start over. Because here's the thing I was missing. When I was working my job, right, I was so fed up with, these long hours. I was so fed up with, working a job that I hated, that I literally left with my life savings. I convinced myself so much to leave my stable, secure job that I was at for 3 years. I left that job, right, because I hated it so much. I hated clocking in so much that I left. And one thing, I don't regret leaving, but one thing I wish I knew was, Javon, this job is not forever. Just use the money that you're making from this job to fund your trading. And so to some of y'all are probably like, well, dawg, that's a no-brainer. But I'm telling you guys, like, this is how I know God is gonna make me successful and I'm gonna become an entrepreneur. I'm gonna be my own boss, because I always hated working for other people. And this is not a pride thing, this is not an ego thing, but I don't mind being a good benefit to somebody else or for someone else's cause, right? But when it comes to working a job that's not fulfilling, I'm sure you can relate. We do not like that. And I took the risk. I took it upon myself to take this risk because I believed in myself so much. And I don't regret leaving my job, because I've learned a lot from the past few months. I've learned a lot about what trading is. I learned a lot about, the markets as a whole. I learned so many things that a year ago, I couldn't even fathom these things. So now that I got the understanding that, okay, the job is literally supposed to be, like, it sucks, like, no one wants to work a 9 to 5, but in order to get to the next level in life, and I'm speaking to you, in order to get to the next level in life, you have to take or make a sacrifice. You have to make that sacrifice. If the only secure source of income that's going to fund your trading account, if that's going to be what's going to get you to the next level is going back to a job, then just do it. Like, the job is gonna suck. You're probably gonna, no matter what job you go to, you're probably gonna hate clocking in no matter what job you go to. But just for the simple fact that that this job is not the end all be all, just knowing that, okay, now I know how to trade. Now I know what to look for in the markets. Now I understand market structure. Now I know how to properly be a swing trader. Now I know how the time frame correlations can help me get inside a specific market trend, right? Now that you have this understanding, why not go back to the job and basically use the job as they're using you? Use them for the money that they're providing you for your services. That's it. Just use the job. Just use the job and the money that they're providing you to get to the next level inside your trading. And the reason why I wasn't thinking like this, the reason why this wasn't really a mindset to me when I was working a job is, like I said, I just hated my job so much. I hated it so bad that I wanted to take a risk and do something different, right? I wanted to take a risk and just do something different. I received a lot of backlash for leaving my job. A lot of people were saying like, I'm silly for leaving my job. I'm this and that for leaving my job. But leaving my job was one of the best things that could have ever happened to me, because I had time to really realize, like, you know what? Like, life isn't going nowhere. In my job, I was comparing myself to other people, like, oh man, this person is where they want to be and I'm stuck in this dang job. But being without a job, it made me realize, like, everyone is all still chasing the win. Everyone is all still trying to get to their destination. And being unemployed for so long made me realize that life ain't going nowhere. Y'all see my view? Y'all see this view, man. Like, this ain't going nowhere. You know, I'ma always have this. But as a man, I have to, you know, I have to remain disciplined. Even when life is handing me crumbs, I have to be disciplined. I have to maneuver with intention now. Now that I know how to trade, now that I've proven to myself that I can extract a payout from a prop firm, why not go back to a job, fund back up my capital, and who knows, maybe the next time around I decide to quit my job, that is probably when I'm gonna start seeing breakthroughs, right? And I kind of knew I was gonna fall flat on my face. Some of you guys might say like, oh, you kind of manifested that on yourself. But I knew I was gonna fall flat on my face, because this was my first, well, it wasn't my first time, but this was my first time actually taking a risk to do something that I was passionate about. The previous times when I was younger and I quit my job, like, I was a teenager, I was young and dumb. But as an adult, I left my secure job to pursue something that isn't as secure, something that wasn't as reliable. Because let's be real, you'll go months, you'll go probably weeks without getting a win in trading. Yes, you can, the odds can be stacked in your favor, but trading is a game of probability, so you're not gonna win every single trade. Right? So me understanding what life is like at a job and what life is like without a job gave me so much perspective over these past few months. And it really made me realize, like, man, like, I'm really not missing out on anything. I'm not missing anything at all. Life isn't leaving me. Like, yes, I'm getting older. I'm turning 24. I mean, I said 24. I wish I was turning 24. But I'm turning 26, June 24th. So it feels like life is moving on without me. It feels like, you know, I'm aging quickly. But this is just my journey. This is just my journey. And I know God is going to use this testimony to bless other people here on this platform. I know God is going to use my story to help others. I know God is going to exalt my channel. He's going to exalt my trading profits. He's going to exalt my story. I just know it at my core. I just know it. At the same time, I don't really care to be popular on this YouTube trading, you know, community thing. I don't really care about the popularity and all that. But I just know God is going to do these things. And the point of this whole video was that, you know, even if you fall flat on your face after you done took a risk, a lot of businesses failed on the first try. A lot of businesses failed on the first, second, third, fifth, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and maybe they succeeded on the sixth try. So stop giving up on yourself. Not because you have to go back to the drawing board means you failed. Sometimes you gotta, you know, kind of like your edge over the market. Sometimes you gotta kind of tweak it a little bit. Sometimes you gotta refine it so that it can produce better results, right? It's the same thing with your life journey. So me going back to a job, you know, I have a job interview tomorrow, and I really think I'm gonna get this job. You know what I'm saying? So this is why I'm kind of making this video. But yeah, man, it's only up from here. I know that once I get into this job and I get settled and used to everything, like, it's only up from here, bro. It's only up from here. And maybe a year from now, I'm gonna be in a whole complete different scenario. I'm probably not even gonna be in this park no more a whole year from now. So that just shows you like how life is. Like, nothing ever really lasts forever. This season of like lack, or you're feeling hopeless, it doesn't last forever. It doesn't last forever because it doesn't have to last forever, right? I had to humble myself and say, you know what, Javon, let me stop relying on my own strength and actually, you know, be a little more responsible. If trading is clearly not paying my bills yet, if I'm losing weeks and, you know, I'm struggling to pay my bills, why not go back to a job? Why try to fight it? Why try to take the route of resistance, or just keep resisting it? Just take the route of least resistance, go back to a job, get back on your feet, and come back stronger. And one thing before I end this video off, in the past few months, this is the most lowest I've ever felt. This is the lowest I've ever been financially. I probably have like $4 in my bank account right now as I'm speaking. Trading is not going well right now. Everything is just down right now. So I clearly have to go back to the drawing board and, you know, really come back stronger. And I know this is my comeback season. I know it. God is writing my story right now. So if this video touched you or helped you in any way, shape, or form, please drop a like down below. Comment down below where you are on your trading journey. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. Comment down below your struggles. Comment down below the wins. I just want to hear it all, man. Shout out to you guys. I love y'all. Continue to keep your head up. Continue to keep God first. Continue to pray, right? Continue to just try to step into the next level that God has to you. Stop going backwards, right? So salute to each and every single one of y'all, man. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I'm out.